Well, hello, Grapevine Mustangs, and welcome to Texas Gun Experience and the Coach DeBesse Show. Let's make some noise. Excited you're here as we get set to preview Week 3 and talk back about what was Week 2. Before we dive into it, I do want to not only recognize our physical host and thank Joseph and Natalie Stanier for having us out at Texas Gun Experience. Thank you very much. This place is incredible. But I also want to give a big thanks to our food provider today, Son of a Butcher, helped us out, so let's give them a hand as well. So thank you guys for making this experience great, and let's welcome Coach Bob DeBesse to the show, and we'll give you the floor just to talk about where we're at here 2 weeks into the season.
Well, we're not where we want to be, sure. But we're not where we're going to be either, and I was not in any way disappointed in the kids. I was disappointed before the kids. Obviously, we could have played better, but I want to make clear up front, we could have coached a hell of a lot better too, okay? And I don't say that to be trite, and it's not coach speak. I didn't do as good a job as I needed to do, getting not only the kids ready, but getting the staff ready. We were not as good as we needed to be staff-wise on Friday night, to be perfectly honest with you. And so, when you win, it's because of the players. You give the players the credit. When it doesn't go your way, the coaches have to take responsibility, and we do. Like any game, there was a lot of positives. There was a lot of things to build on. But I guarantee you, like our opponent this weekend, we're hungry to get the first one.
I want to talk about some of the positive things that we did see. Talk about the actual game itself, a 42-24 loss to Birdville. But offensively, there was that explosion that was there. What did you see? What did you like, I guess, offensively from Week 1 to Week 2?
Well, we had a little more consistency. We did drive the ball. You talked about the explosive plays. We did have some explosive plays. Unfortunately, one of those explosive plays got called back, and you'll see on the video, not a very good call. And that was kind of a critical call for us, but it was good to see the explosiveness from the offense. I thought Jalen Holmes, who's here with us tonight, I thought he played a really good, solid ball game, threw the ball on point, did a good job of leading the group. Offensive line showed some strides. So there was improvement on the offensive side of the ball, and that was encouraging. We just got to do a little bit better job of playing together, and playing off of each other. That's going to be critical for this football team. Special teams came up short. What was a real positive for us in the first game turned out to be a negative, really, for us in Game 2. And so whenever things like that happen, man, you got to take a step back and you got to question what you're doing, and you got to examine everything that you're doing. And we made some changes as far as practice is concerned and what we're doing, and some of the kids that are doing it. Defensively, the frustrating thing defensively was, there were times we were dominating, but it seemed like every time we would score, they would come back immediately with a big play, and it was either a touchdown or to set up a touchdown. So we always felt like we were playing catch-up, And you're going to see when we show the highlights. Give Birdville credit, man. They got some dudes now. They got some players. They got some athletes, and did a nice job of scheming. And it was a quality opponent, just like we thought they were going to be. So again, not disappointed at all in the kids. Disappointed for them, but obviously we're going to expect. Our standards are going to be higher than what we had on Friday.
And one more question about last week, and then we move on. Defensively, I thought you can probably look at 10 or 15 different plays throughout a game and say, if this went differently or that. But what about the first defensive play of the game? Luke Gormley comes through, blows up the quarterback, ball pops out, and before you know it, they've gained 20, 25 yards on that play. That was a huge play defensively.
Not only do we not get the ball, it was a huge play by Luke and the defense. Not only do we not get the ball, but we had a horse collar, I believe it was a horse collar, whatever it was. It was a personal foul penalty on the defense, which, like you said, moved the ball down the field. So what could have been a hellacious start, like we had in the second half with the defense forcing a turnover, we ended up facing adversity from the get-go.
And as we move forward, we're about to talk about some of these DNA players that were awarded this week. Take us back, kind of behind the scenes, if you can. How do you determine that? What goes into that selection, and anything specifically you want to point out about this group of guys?
Well, coaches nominate from their positions. They nominate guys for DNA awards. They don't necessarily nominate by category, by trait, attitude, toughness, compete, all those. And then collectively, we decide as a group, who those 5, 6, last week we had 7 guys are. And then based on their performance, based on their week of practice, we kind of try to fit the trait to their performance, and that's how we kind of match it up. And so we might have, if we've got 5 here tonight, there were probably 9 to 10 that were actually nominated. But it's not something we take lightly. It's not something that we give away. We only have 5. We have 6 traits. We didn't feel like the energy on the sideline, we didn't feel like our response early on to the circumstances of the game were what they needed to be. There was a little bit of, not a lot of negativity, but there was a little bit of negativity instead of positivity and trying to help, pump each other up and pick each other up. So we didn't pick a family guy this week because we just didn't feel like, we had one that really stood out.
Well, let's get into the guys that did stand out and the ones that won these awards. And we'll start with a guy who's in his 2nd consecutive week where he is winning this award, Daniel Campos of the offensive line. I just saw him get really mad because I don't think he wanted to go first to do the interview. But Daniel, congratulations. 2nd consecutive week that you get to talk to me, which I know is the whole reason you do this. But yeah, you win the Discipline Award last week. You win the Attitude Award this week. How did you just feel offensively and how you guys were able to move the football?
I felt like I was trying my best to do as much as I could this time. Try to help out Julian and the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you win that Attitude Award this week. You had, like we said, the DNA Award last week. Where does that just work ethic come from? Where's that kind of where your motivation comes from as a player?
Well, Coach Hyde said that when he sees me at practice, I'm always quiet, right? Because I'm trying to stay focused. But he said that I take my pride in how well I do. So I guess that kind of sorts it out.
I love it. Well, hopefully we have a lot of chances to talk the rest of the year. Congratulations. Let's give it up for Daniel. Our next award is the Fight Award, and that's going to go to the quarterback, Mr. Jalen Holmes. Coming off, Jalen. Got to see Jalen cut it loose a little bit this week, so congratulations on the Fight Award. A couple of touchdowns as well. It seemed like you felt a little bit more comfortable. What did you feel like the biggest change was week 1 to week 2 for you?
I would like to say, I say the first game jitters. I feel like that's what played a lot of part of it. Being moving up as a junior, then starting your first varsity game, it could be a lot totally different from JV to VAR. But going into week 2, I knew I had my brothers with me. So.
Well, one of those guys one of your brothers that went out and made a play for you, that first touchdown pass, 69-yard touchdown to Luke Stewart. Take us through that play. That was really one of the first times we saw you let it go down the field.
During practice, we are, as you see, of our offense is a lot of run, and that's what we stride in. We always like to talk about how defenses catch up, but once they see so much run, they like to pursue to it. And so all of our passing plays, like the post we had, it's like a once time of play, so I try to take as much pride as I can in it.
Well, you did that. You had some big plays. Congratulations. And that is our DNA Award winner for Fight this week. Now for the Compete Award, we've already mentioned him once, and this is also his 2nd straight week. Luke Gormley, come on up. 2nd straight week, actually, that he has received the Compete Award. And, so it's back-to-back weeks. What did it mean specifically this week to compete against Birdville?
I would say, we went out there from the first snap, and we were ready. We've been prepping for this game for a long time. They're pretty close to home, so it was a big game. But even though we fell short and we were disappointed in the result, we still competed the whole time. I can say that for everybody on the defense, and yeah.
You're one of the guys that gets to wear that C on your jersey, captain for this team. What does that mean for you?
I'm actually not a captain.
No. We can rewind that and pretend not.
It's okay though. Yeah, we have a great group of captains though. Love our captains.
I saw the C on the jersey.
Love our captains. It is, yeah. It's from a previous year.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Tell us about the captains on the team is what I meant to ask you, and how important they are.
They're all great leaders. We got Brad here. We had a couple that got DNA last week. They're great. They're always motivating us and inspiring us, and couldn't be more thankful for the good group of guys we have.
All right, Luke, congratulations, back-to-back weeks on the award. Let's give a hand for Luke. Let's bring up Bradley, since Luke just get him coming up here. Bradley Stanier, the award for discipline this week. One of 3 guys that gets the award for back-to-back weeks. Last week it was the family awards, and just would love your thoughts on just the defense and what you guys were able to do, but what you also think you can improve on going into next week.
I think we did a really good job of prepping for the game. Obviously, it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. We were definitely wanting that win,
Yeah.
I will say. But there were a few problems that we had in the game, just miscommunication, and there were some things that we didn't plan out, and it just didn't end up going our
I'd
way.
love your perspective on that first play, because Luke comes in and gets the sack, but you had a bunch of penetration too. You were right there, nearly made the tackle as the guy picked up the fumble. What was your perspective on that play?
I thought it was incomplete, so I thought it was dead at first because I think he threw it at the tackle's helmet, but it didn't get played that way, so I just tried to get to the ball, and I didn't make it there.
Well, you battled through, and you had a whole lot of pressure, but congratulations on getting this award again, and let's give it up for Bradley. All right, Cooper Towery is our last award winner. He won the Tough DNA Award. Let's give it up for Cooper. Well, congratulations on the award. And, a little bit of a different wrinkle, putting you in the game, and your job was just to go out there and kind of slam right into the defense. Take us through what it was like to be a big part of that game on Friday.
So all week I had been working OB. That's my original position. And then we had a switch up at halftime where I had to go into inside linebacker, and it's a lot different being there with the bigger guys.
What was the biggest change for you?
Going head on to an offensive lineman.
Made a little bit of a change?
Yeah.
How then do you continue to instill that toughness mindset, the DNA award that you won? How do you instill that in yourself and help instill it in the team the rest of the season?
Hold myself to a higher standard. We got to be tough on and off the field. You got to be the most physical one out there.
Well, congratulations on winning the Tough Award. And let's give not just Cooper, but all 5 of our winners of the DNA Awards. Give them a hand.
Luke, the C is for compete, right? 2 weeks in a row, right? 2 weeks in a row, right? That's what you should. That was your answer right there.
That's what we should have done.
This is a great group. I mean, it's representative of the kind of kids that we have. But Cooper talked about defense. Cooper played on offense too, right? I mean, he carried the ball. Jalen went down a couple of times or went down once, and Cooper is the Johnny on the spot and goes in and plays. We got a couple of guys here that are crossover guys, and you asked Daniel about what. I think what he takes the most pride in or whatever, or what he attributes it to. I've said this to the team. Daniel Campos has changed himself physically as much as anybody that's come through Grapevine in a long, long time. If you'd have seen Daniel a year and a half ago, maybe, something like that, totally different guy. And it's all through incredibly hard work and a lot of pride in his performance. So proud of every one of these guys. Super proud of every one of them.
We'll give him one more round of applause. Well, we're going to move into a portion. We're going to have a chance to meet a new face. And I don't know if you want to make an introduction,
Sure.
Coach?
Yeah, and I'll make the introduction because I was fortunate enough to be on the selection committee for our new boys basketball coach at Grapevine High School. And went through several candidates, narrowed it down to a couple. But throughout the entire process, our next guest was head and shoulders above the rest. I won't go into his career and his background because that's something he'll tell you about. But Alex Budke, our new boys basketball coach at Grapevine High School, is going to be a great addition for years to come. And appreciate him bringing all of our basketballers too. So, Alex Budke, new head basketball coach.
We'll just give you the floor. Congratulations.
Great,
Yeah,
thank you.
Well, just tell us a little bit just about your excitement and what it's going to mean to you be a part of Grapevine.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, thanks, Coach DeBesse, for giving me a platform this week to bring in our basketball team to talk a little basketball right in the middle of football season. But quick background of the story real quick. I did go to Oklahoma State. So if you watched that football game this weekend, I'm a big Cowboys fan. And for some reason, one of our seniors that's here tonight decided to wear a nice Arkansas hog shirt in on Friday right before the game. Maybe to get a rise on me or something. His name's Brendan Storm. He's sitting right there. So anyway, I knew we had that game from the start. Got down 14-0, ended up winning the double overtime. So I made sure to send him a nice gif of Pistol Pete waving the OSU flag right after that game. So just quick football story there for you guys you thought you'd like. But super excited about basketball season. I think we just finished the schedule today. Coach Brewer's my schedule guy, but I think we finally got it done today. These guys have been working hard since I got here. We went through that interview process and got my family up here pretty much at the end of May and June. And since then, we've been putting in practices all the way through June. Open gyms. We've been up at the weight room at 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 days a week, so we can, hopefully start looking a little bit more like this front row here of football players and a little bit less like some skinny basketball players this year. Those guys right there that are sitting in the middle, they're a group of seniors that have been putting in the work for months now in preparation of our season. So, I'm really proud of how they've been going about it. Ongoing process. A lot of the things that Coach DeBesse has already said we're echoing with the basketball team, trying to get a little bit tougher every day in every aspect of the game. But they've been working super hard, so I'm excited for this year.
Tell us why Grapevine. Like, what stood out to you throughout this entire process?
Yeah, so I've been in the basketball coaching sphere my whole life. So I do pretty good research, and I hope Coach DeBesse can maybe attain this a bit, but I wasn't going to pick anywhere that I didn't believe I could go win and have an impact on the community, and that presence is definitely felt here tonight. We're on a Tuesday night, and there's a whole group of people, here to listen about high school football, on a Tuesday night. So that's awesome. Okay, so the community was a big one for me, and my wife is actually from Dallas, so. Her happiness also means a lot to me too, so it makes it a lot easier when she's a lot closer to family. So that was a big selling point of Grapevine, and it hasn't let me down at all. It's been probably the fastest 3 or 4 months of my life, but I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, could you tell us a little bit maybe about the staff that you're going to put together and what you're excited about the most going into this season?
Yeah, absolutely. So they all three came tonight. We have a whole new basketball staff this year, revamped a bit. Our varsity assistant is Kevin Brewer. He came from Buda Johnson High School. They had a great 3-year run. We actually played them. I was at Westlake High School, so they were in our district, and they are one of the few teams in the state to beat us. I think we split both years, Coach Brewer. Yeah, so that's rare. I don't think anyone else split with us the whole time I was there. So a lot of respect from him and the program he came from. We were able to steal him from Buda Johnson High School. They wanted him as their head coach. So I take that as a huge win, and his view of Grapevine was similar to mine. It's just a place that you want to be. Our JV coach this year, Coach Keeney, it's not spelled how it looks. I figured that out after a little bit. A terrible speller, and our JV coach and our freshman coach have wild names that aren't pronounced how they look. But Coach Keeney's going to do a great job. He joined us at the end of the summer, so he's getting used to his first year of public school education, which can be a wild ride, but he's doing an awesome job. And then our freshman coach is Coach Karkanagas. Try to spell that. But he was with me at Westlake. He was coaching our freshmen there, and he'll do the same thing here. So, with the help of Coach DeBesse and our great admin staff, we've kind of revamped the way that we are doing the basketball program, our schedule, the whole 9 yards. So, really happy with how it's going and excited.
Well, Coach Budke, we're excited too. Appreciate you being here. Let's give him a hand for being here, and congratulations on the job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach Budke. Well, we're going to transition here. We'll let Coach get his laptop set up, and he's going to take us through a little bit of film from the game against Birdville on Friday.
There's no such thing as passwords or passphrases.
I do again want to say thank you to the Texas Gun Experience for having us, Son of a Butcher as well for serving us food as well. Can also tell you next week we'll be at Harvest Hall, the Coach DeBesse show. So that'll be where we will next week, 6:30 once again.
Okay. You good? I think I'm just going to stand because of the way this thing. All right, so opening series. Big play right off the bat, off of the triple. All right, and I'm sorry. Opening series, big play off the triple. Really good job of Jalen reading his dive key right there, coming off the edge, pitching off of number 2, the outside backer. And this is Julian Contreras, who I believe is in the audience tonight, generating a huge explosive right off the bat. I believe this series ended in a field goal, successful field goal, so it's always good to score on an opening drive, and your chances go up exponentially when you have an explosive on a drive. Your chances go up exponentially as far as scoring is concerned. This is the play that we've been referring to. Here comes Luke through the middle here, and he knocks the dog out of the quarterback right there, okay? That running back there, look at that running back right there. He has no desire to block Luke right there. That's called a lookout block. Look out. So there's the ball live. We're trying to get it. They got on top of it, and then right here, I believe it was a horse collar call right there. Okay, so that was unfortunate because it was an absolutely huge play. Let's look at the oh, shoot. We don't have the end zone for that one. Okay, so let's look at the tight so you can get a little bit of a feel for what the quarterback saw. So he's trying to get rid of that ball right there. Good penetration by Bradley here off the bottom, okay? Cedric Hicks, one of our sophomores, started at nose guard instead of defensive end this week. And then Andres Garcia, another one of our sophomores, ended up going and spelling him, and he stayed at defensive end a lot of the game too. Okay, incomplete pass right here. This is Linnell Randolph right here, and I put this on here because Linnell's got a big-time future. He really does. He's just got to figure it out. He's got great athleticism. This is exactly what you teach defensive backs to do. Zero in on the receiver here. I'm sure Birdville thought it was a catch. I'm sure the kid thought it was a catch, but Linnell never quit on the play, and he did what DBs are supposed to do, and he knocked the ball out of the receiver's hand. So that was a big play for us because that would have been a 3rd and 11 conversion for Birdville there. All right, here it is, the play that Jalen was describing. Their safeties had been getting really involved in the run game, so we sold the triple with a play-action pass. And if you just take a look at the linebackers and the safeties, take a look. Now I know the safeties are down, but still they all move to the line of scrimmage. Okay, and that's all you can ask for in a play-action pass, especially if you're trying to hit the intermediate or the deep. You couldn't throw it. You can't throw a better ball. You can't make a better catch and run afterwards. You'll see a great shot of it right here from Jalen's perspective and from Luke's perspective as far as the catch is concerned. Excellent protection. Luke actually has to kind of catch it. You know, he kind of has to track the ball a little bit to catch it. Does a heck of a job. It's amazing how fast you can run when you're scared. But anyway, huge play. Great to see. Here's Coop. Okay, we'll see some Coops. We'll see some highlights of Coop on the defensive side. Here he is on the offensive side. Looks like a flag there, right? It's somebody's glove that goes flying up in there. But this is called 21 Q peel. So this is the inside zone. We tag it with Q to let them know that the quarterback is carrying the ball. And this is just another example of the value that Cooper brings to our team, being able to go in there and have a change up at the quarterback position. I want you to watch our running back here, who is in attendance. Okay, you think this isn't a physical game? Watch 51 coming off the edge down here. Okay, now if Julian is not, if he's not taking that hit, I wouldn't say. If you were gonna pick who was the hammer and who was the nail, but he still did a good job of not allowing 51. See, 51's trying to make that play, but because Julian was there, he's able to spring Coop for a nice a nice gain. Okay. All right, big play. This was a new concept that we put in for this game. This was mesh. Okay, what we call mesh. Everybody runs some kind of version of that, but what you're kind of hoping for is exactly what happens. That they lose the back out of the backfield. They start following the receivers who were in a condensed formation to begin with. And there's Julian running down the sideline right there. Nice throw by Jalen. I think if Julian doesn't have a little hitch in his get-along right there after he catches it, he might score, but he ends up generating another explosive play. He had several explosive plays the other night and a penalty for face mask, okay? So once again, from the backside Jalen's perspective right here and what he's seeing, so once he sees that safety in that corner, you can see the corner off the left side of the screen there. Once he sees them turn inside, okay, he knows there's nobody out there for Julian, okay? And Jake Graham is a true freshman for us, okay? True freshman. It's not easy for a true freshman to be a varsity football player. But here's Jake Graham's first varsity touchdown as a Grapevine Mustang. So that's a big moment. Big moment for Jake. Big moment for his parents, too. But Jake's earned the respect of his teammates. He's come in, and all he's done is work. Shown a tremendous amount of toughness, and his teammates have done a nice job accepting and bringing him along. Speed option, okay, needed to try to get the ball on the perimeter if we could. The idea is for the pulling guard here to to cut that defensive end. He doesn't cut him, but he does entertain him enough, keeps his hand down that Jalen's able to get to his pitch key. Good job by our wideout. Good job by DJ Wright. Well, I don't know if that's a good job by DJ Wright at all. It's kind of like the hammer nail deal again. But got in and make play. This is the play, okay? He does not step out of bounds. I mean, the guy blew the call. He just blew the call. Y'all may have seen it on the replay in game, but you know, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. But this was a shame. This was a shame because this should have been a touchdown on the board for the Mustangs. In a game like we had, you know, every score was going to be big. Okay, unfortunately, here's one that you know, we made a mistake, and the point I want to make here is gap integrity on defense is absolutely crucial. Okay, so everybody is responsible for a gap in that defensive front. Unfortunately, our end down here did not squeeze the C gap. If you can see Thomas Powers out here in the perimeter. He's the D gap player. 45 is the C gap player. 45 didn't take the C gap, and all of a sudden we got problems. Okay, Birdville had some guys that could go. They had some guys with some juice, and once they got behind us, we had a tough time. Okay, here's a big play by Coop right before the half. Okay, we didn't do a very good job offensively of running clock or actually moving the ball, and so we put a little bit more pressure on our defense right before the half than we should have, but Coop comes through and makes a huge play to take away any chance that they had of doing anything before halftime. All right, this was right out of halftime. Okay, this is their first drive. It's third down. They have a little miscommunication between the center and the quarterback, and we're opportunistic as can be. Cedric got this, correct? You're smiling like you got it, huh? It squirted out, right? So Bradley gets on it, and then Cedric ends up with the recovery right there. But even with that, I mean, look at all the red shirts. Okay, look at all the red shirts around the ball. Our kids played tough. They played hard. They played with fight. That's always going to be the case. I don't think we'll ever come in here. I know we'll never come in here and say anything different about our kids because we got great kids. This was a great opportunity to get right back in it and to make it a one-score game. Unfortunately, we came up short. But I'll tell you, I told our team, you know, there was a 4th and 2 down there inside the 15-yard line or wherever it was. We could have kicked a field goal. There's no question we could have kicked a field goal. This is a non-district game. They start for real as far as playoffs on Friday, okay? I wanted to see how our offense responded because there's going to be a time in district play where we're going to be in the exact same situation and we're going to need the conversion, okay? So I wanted to put our offense in a situation that was tough when everybody knew we were going to run the football and and we needed to make the first down. Unfortunately, we didn't. They come right back and in an open drive. And here's a great job. Watch all the penetration by our front. Now there's a lot of dudes up there, right? There's about 6 guys up there, a 7th if you count the Mike linebacker in there. Okay, but look at the penetration by our guys again. Bradley, Cedric, Luke throwing the right tackle aside. Tatum Evans squeezing right there. There's a lot of red shirts right there, and absolutely nowhere to go. And you can see the quarterback is looking at Luke Hecht right here, so he has to give the ball. So that's an excellent defensive play right there. But unfortunately, we have a tremendous. To me, it's a great effort on the part of Birdville's back. I mean, to me that's a great run. We don't make the play. We have guys around the ball. We get guys that get juked. It's not because of effort. I thought Birdville did a really good job on this particular play of getting in the way and making some key blocks. You can see the white shirts in front of the red shirts, not because the red shirts aren't making a great effort. This is a great sign right here, okay? It's a tough ball game. It's a back-and-forth ball game. Look at all the red shirts chasing, and I'm not talking about they're just putting in time. They're just trying to get on video saying, okay, yeah, I was giving effort. They're giving great effort. Luke Gormley and Brady Boozer right there. I think Luke Hecht is actually third right there. Luke ends up tackling him right there, which is going to pay off down the road because we're going to have a drive when we stop somebody because of a great effort and they don't put points on the board. They don't score. Here's Brady Boozer filling from the free safety position. I thought from field level, I thought, we're in trouble right here because I saw the big gash. I thought he was going to bounce to the outside. Brady does a great job of stepping up and making a play, okay? Bradley beating the block again, making a play. So you can see Bradley's on the inside. See the twist right there by he and is that Andres or is that Cedric? By Cedric, okay, the twist right there creates problems for the offensive line, for Birdville's offensive line. So, you see Bradley playing out on the edge. You also see him playing inside. That's great when you got some defensive linemen that have that kind of flexibility and versatility. All right. Jalen throws this ball really good. I'm talking about he throws this route, this particular concept really good. This is what we call a naked off of the inside zone, okay, so we fake it to the left. Line's going left, tight end's faking like he's going left, everybody steps down. And the idea is you're going to look at the flat first. DJ's not there, but here comes Ryland coming across in the quarterback's vision, right where he needs to be. Excellent. Very well executed play. Very well executed play. So we're still in the fight. We're still there. I think it's still anybody's ball game in the fourth quarter. And this is what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, they answered right away. I mean, immediately afterwards, the very next play, they answer. So any momentum that we had was stymied by a big play by them. So, we learn, you learn. It's a game of inches. It's a game of, we're so close to making that play right there, but we don't. And again, we had some mistakes as far as gap integrity was concerned, and Birdville met his pay. Once again, I am going to harp on it because I'm proud of them. That's a hell of a job, and that shows a lot of character on the part of the kids right there, and it shot a lot of want to on the part of the kids right there as far as tremendous effort. Because if you stop them, you got a chance to keep them out of the end zone and stay in that game. But you got Big Cedric running, you got Gormley running, you got Luke running, you got Carlos McKay running. Okay, so you got a lot of guys in hot pursuit right there. But unfortunately, ended up to be a big play. Great play on the goal line. Here, watch the interior again. See the game, okay, what we got working there between Cedric and Bradley. Watch Bradley pop out right there. See him pop out right there. That's confusing for those offensive linemen when they see that movement right there post-snap, right? They think that they're going to be stationary. They think they know who they're blocking down on, and all of a sudden it moves, and my guy's gone. Now what do I do? And Bradley's able to sneak through there along with who's that? Who's that, Luke again? On the other side. At any rate, okay, a bunch of guys being really physical down on the goal line. Okay, they didn't get in until fourth down. We fought them till the end, but unfortunately they ended up getting in. Okay. All right, I put this in here because this guy's kind of an unsung hero. He works his tail off. He doesn't say anything. He may say, Daniel may be the only one that talks less than Cale Thompson. But here's Cale Thompson, who's a journeyman senior. He's big into theater, right? He's the star of the show coming up in the GHS Theater, and that was a big play for him. That was a nice moment. I think he had 4 catches the other night. Good job breaking the tackle and putting us in a position where at least we were continuing to move the football. Okay, late in the game again. You guys, this will be a common theme. Okay, our linebackers. Watch our linebackers. This time it's Cooper. Okay, our guys do a really good job of putting pressure on offensive linemen. We see it every day in practice. They do a really good job of pushing, getting up the field in the D line, and then our linebackers getting through there and penetrating the line of scrimmage. That makes it really, really uncomfortable for backs and quarterbacks. Okay. All right, Luke Hecht, right? This is kind of a trademark of the Hecht family, right? This kind of looks like Major a little bit, right? You saw Major make a lot of those plays the last 2 years. Luke is the same way. That's not an easy thing to do, right? You're one-on-one in the open field, okay? It's you and the ball carrier. You got to be technique sound, and you got to be disciplined to make that kind of play. Luke's going to continue to play more and more and more. You'll see him on the field more and more and more because of his production. And there you have it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Coach. I appreciate you breaking it down. Before we wrap up, I do want to hit on what's coming up. And we were talking beforehand about new district, really a new team in Everman. Probably don't know a whole lot about them just from an outside perspective. So what are you expecting from Friday
I think
night?
it was interesting. It just hit me earlier this week. There's not a lot of familiarity, probably, I wouldn't think. There's not a lot of familiarity with our program and with our kids and with our families and community with our new district. I mean, we haven't never played some of these people. Everman is one of them, right? Everman's won 2 state championships themselves. Grapevine takes pride in their state championships. Everman's won 2 state championships, 2001 and 2002. Everman has had 36 playoff teams in the history of their program. Everman has had 6 losing seasons, only 6 losing seasons since 1979. Let that sink in. Okay, only 6 losing seasons since 1979. So this is not some podunk town south of Fort Worth program that's coming to town on Friday night. This is a quality program, a program with a lot of tradition and a lot of pride. These guys will hear it again because I'm going to tell the whole football team what I just told you guys about the tradition and the pride that we're playing on Friday night. We'll come out with a lot of pride, but so will the Everman Bulldogs.
Well, it's exciting. You said kind of the playoffs really start next week. District begins with Everman at Mustang Panther Stadium. Do it one more time. I want to say thank you to Texas Gun Experience and Son of a Butcher for helping putting all this together. Next week, don't forget Harvest Hall at a 6:30 start. That will be back on Monday. That is Monday, September 16th, Harvest Hall. And that's it. So get out to Mustang Panther on Friday, and let's get that first win of the season. Coach, thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for being here.